Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Paddocks. This week, we're talking all things sparkle and shine at the Vegas Grand Prix. We have a lot to cover. It's just there's so much from like the start to end of this race weekend. So just get your drink, get comfy, and get ready for a really long breakdown. On the episode, we have myself, Chelsea, we have Rachel, Amy, and Meg, and we're going to start off with our turn by turn segment from Amy.
All right, y'all. As usual, I am the one who is covering turn by turn. Let us know if we should keep this for next season. If you find this information useful, please tell us. If you think it's pointless, please tell us and we will cut this. And it gives us more time to yap about like the good stuff. So let us know. Thoughts, opinions are always appreciated, but I pretty much more or less rattle off a laundry list of track changes in this segment. And I kind of have a laundry list, I kind of don't. It's all up for interpretation, so bear with me. Turn 3, they adjusted the right-hand side inside painted curb and white line. The wall is in the exact same position. Yes, they specifically called that out. Turn 4, exit left-hand side. They adjusted left track edge. The painted curb was removed as well. There are 2 patches of asphalt, one 50 meters before MP 4.8 and the second one 20 meters after over the whole width of the track. Turn 5 and turn 6, left-hand side adjustment and painted curb and white line. Again, the wall is in the same position. Turn 8, widening runoff of the Turn 8, widening runoff on the left-hand side for better access for vehicles and pedestrians during track build. Distance boards have been updated to a new size, and the 100-meter boards are now painted blue. And there was reprofiling of the manhole between turn 16 and turn 17 under the bridge and the concrete barrier before the pit entry after the speed limit board on the right-hand side. That was a mouthful. Do I know what any of that means? No, I don't think any of us do, to be really honest. So again, if you want us to cut this stuff, please tell us. We will happily stop covering this section. Now, you guys know we love to yap about all things that happen pre-race. We do have to kick it off with some weather updates because coming into this race weekend, it was looking like Vegas was flooded for a hot sec because they got a ton of rain prior to the start of the race weekend, and there was like flooding on Thursday and Wednesday and Thursday, if I'm honest. It was just a little wild. If you saw it on social media, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's like Las Vegas, Los Angeles, the whole area, all this got basically our annual rainfall amount in a week or less than. No one knows what to do. This does not happen very often. My offices were a ghost town, but in Vegas, the places that everyone was filming that were flooded are runoff areas. They're kind of supposed to flood, basically. The track, I don't think ever actually flooded. It did get very wet, but it didn't really flood. So
it's always a little chaotic when there's rain before a race weekend and during a race weekend. I feel like everybody kept checking their weather forecasts, trying to figure out what the heck was going to happen with this race. But of course, it wouldn't be a pre-race coverage section of a PGP episode if we didn't talk about helmets and liveries. And oh my god, people, we have so many helmets to cover, so please bear with us. I am going to kick us off with what I think is my personal favorite of the entire weekend. You can disagree with me, but you're probably wrong. Lewis Hamilton absolutely smashed it out of the goddamn park, pardon my French. It should surprise nobody that I absolutely screamed over this helmet. The sparkles. Are you kidding me? It is everything. I need a mini helmet of this ASAP because it will look perfect next to my Lando disco helmet, next to my disco ball, like, wine bucket, and I just need it now.
Easily the best helmet of the weekend, in my opinion, hands down. If he does a mini helmet, I might actually have to get one. He absolutely should do a mini helmet. I'm not usually a mini helmet person. I don't have any at the moment, but an argument could be made for me to get that one and by an argument, I mean me just informing my husband that I spent however much money that would cost. It's too shiny to pass up. I love it. It's so shiny and sparkly and pretty. I am obsessed. I will say, though, an argument could be made for Lando's helmet also being one of the best of the weekend. That one's killer.
I love it. Definitely agree. It's beautiful. It did remind me of the disco ball from Lando in the Miami race. But you guys will be really disappointed to know the mini helmet's already on sale, and it's not anything like the real thing.
Oh.
Yeah, so like instead of the whole thing being sparkly, it has like lines of sparkle throughout it. If you guys go on the Ferrari website, it's already up for sale. It's $875.
That's probably the big one.
No, it's the mini edition helmet 1/2 scale.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on. I now need to go look at my freaking...
I'm pulling this
Can
up.
I share my screen? No, look, I'll just share my screen.
Okay,
so it's very expensive.
My Lando mini is a 1:5 scale. Still, that's not a true mini. That's a big helmet. Or a bigger helmet, I will say.
This is a 1:2 scale.
Yes.
That's what...
I think I spent like $80 on my mini. Are you kidding?
Just for reference, my Lando mini that's up on my shelf was like $200, and it's a 1:2. So it's the same size as that one, but $600 less.
I'm sorry, Ferrari.
Even
if you
Lando's...
want the regular size one, it's
Plastic.
15. If you want the full size one, it is $15,200, and it's sold out.
I believe
My
that.
mind is buying this.
Rich people, Amy.
God damn it.
That's
But
crazy.
Look, it literally just has like lines.
Oh, I'm
To be-
disappointed. I mean, I will say my Lando disco helmet is not as cool in person as I thought it was going to be, but I still
Valid.
really like it.
And I will have to say, I have
That's so
never seen a mini
disappointing.
helmet cost
For
more
that
than
much
like
money?
max $200.
It's a little while.
That's a 1:2. That's a 1:2 scale, though.
Still,
So it's
I,
like
That's a
I-
1 to 2
mini.
scale. That's a 1 to 2
Yeah.
scale, and it was $200.
I would call it a medium, but still very expensive, like ridiculously expensive.
I mean,
I'm
this is also Ferrari who sells
flabbergasted.
sweatshirts for $500.
That is also very true.
true.
So
You're buying
it makes
the
me
logo.
less mad at Charles about his prices of his merch.
Yes.
I wasn't really mad about them in the first place, but
But if you want to drop over $800, it is on sale now.
well,
Good
let's think.
God.
And if it's shipping internationally and you're in the U.S.,
Ugh.
good luck.
No, thank you. Hard pass. As much as I love it, I am not shelling out that
No.
kind of money.
No.
That
Just
is
for reference, Lando's mini, $261. The 1
For
to
the
2
1 to 2?
scale for his special helmet for Vegas is $261.
okay.
Ferrari
That's,
has lost their ever-loving mind.
are we
They're
surprised?
They've lost the plot.
They're a little a lot.
Oh
Anyways.
God.
Anyway,
Are we
Speaking-
surprised?
Speaking of Lando Norris's helmet, because literally, y'all, that helmet is a work of art.
Literally.
Obviously, he had the one that was made for him that's got all of the, what I'm assuming is acrylic paint? Oil
Yeah.
paint?
I think
I
it's
can't
some
I think
tell
it's
a
form
acrylic.
medium.
I think it's some form of paint mixed with like a spackle type situation.
That would also track. But
Yeah.
it's got this very interesting texture to it. So obviously when I saw it, there are tons of comments online that were saying, oh my God, there's no way he's going to race with that. Yeah, no duh, people. It's the same thing like what he did with the disco ball helmet. Because this helmet was textured, it's going to mess with his aerodynamics. So he had two versions. He had the one that had the really cool texture and detail, and then he had another version that pretty much was like a scan and like stickered
Sticker.
almost. It's genius. It's so genius. But the real one that he had made is honestly the coolest thing. He better not ever sell that or auction it. That thing needs to be saved for like ever because it's just iconic. It's a literal piece of art.
I'm obsessed with that one. It was incredible. I love that he collabed with a real artist and didn't use AI. Yes, I'm being shady about that. And I thought it was so cool. And I also like, if you look at the artist's page, he has like another like canvas thing that he did. It's like the checkered flag, and it has like Lando in the center. It's so cool. So cool. And I honestly like the sticker too. The sticker on his helmet for the race looked just as cool in my opinion.
I will say, love Lando's helmet. I've like really loved the artwork. That guy's been really popular for a bit now. He's been trending. I'm sure he's been popular before that, but you know how TikTok is. And Lando was celebrating his 150th Grand Prix with another driver. But in case you didn't know, the artist's name is Warner Bronkhorst. I might be pronouncing that incorrectly. But he's basically been known for these textured paintings. There's like golf ones, there's F1 ones I've seen, there's golf. No, wait, not golf. What was the other one he's done? Like swimming or something? It's amazing. There's the tennis one too. I saw that one. But in reference to where it's going, if I'm not wrong, I think the helmet's just gonna go into like a art exhibit that the artist has going right now. Like after the show. So it's gonna be up in an art exhibit with his other collections for a little bit, and then after that I'm not sure what they're gonna do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Lando will take it because it's also like it's his 150th helmet, although I'm sure he won't want any memories of this weekend. We'll get into that later. But
That's so true.
he never misses with his helmets. Like, he always has a great special lid. Even if it's just, like, minimal things, like what he did for Silverstone this year. Like, that's still a nice little touch, in my opinion. But I agree with Rach. Love that an actual artist painted and designed it and didn't use AI, and there's actual creativity and work that went into it. And I also love that he included kind of like his 5 big milestones on the helmet. I don't know how Werner painted them so small, but they looked so amazing. I don't know how that happened. But I also love that he included members of the team like Andrea and Will and some of the mechanics and other engineers. So, and honestly, like, y'all know I watch his onboard. That's established. Yes. And even from the onboard, like, just with the helmet he wore this weekend, it still looks textured. So I don't know how they managed to do that, but job well done.
It came out really good.
I love like a behind the scenes on how people go about designing helmets for an F1 driver, just because like I'm intrigued by the process because I'm a nerd like that. But I just I don't know. I feel like it'd be really fun to like understand how you go about it.
I feel like I feel like for this one, Lando probably was like, I want you to make my helmet. I want you to make sure to include these people / milestones. Have at it. And just like let him do his thing. Yeah,
well, I'm even just talking about like how do you take it from being this textured thing to like a sticker, and like what does that process even look like?
Yeah.
Just because I'm like,
we've talked about it before, but BTS of any of the helmets would be so much fun to have.
So much fun. Please, teams, if you're listening, give us the goods. People want to know. I know we're not the only ones. But, of course, if we're talking about Lando, we have to talk about his teammate. We have to talk about Oscar's helmet. He did a little throwback to his RC car racing days from when he was a kid, and it was so sweet. I loved the, like, really bright, hot pink. Him and Lando are very much so giving me Wicked energy. If you know, you know. If you've seen Wicked for Good, you know.
The devil works hard. But the Wicked marketing team, I swear to God, works harder. Like,
they're everywhere.
I love it.
Literally everywhere.
Their team is everywhere. Like, I mean, literally, we're going to see Wicked again this weekend. I mentioned it. We're going to see them.
At the race.
She did the
intro
intro
with Carlos
on ESPN.
and Williams.
She did the intro on ESPN.
I'm gonna take it out here now, but she was in Carlos's car. That was hilarious.
That's amazing.
That was amazing. And she looks cute. I love the photo.
It's so funny to me now, and this is kind of a side note, but growing up, the pink and the green was like Cosmo and Wanda from the Fairly Odd Parents, and now it's
Wicked.
Linda and Elphaba. It's so funny to see.
They should have done an edit
big fan.
to what's the song There's like loathing.
Oh.
That one.
What is this feeling?
That would have been so cute.
What is this feeling?
They should have done an edit to that because it's also like the championship
Max and
battle
George.
and
The Max and George edits to that are so funny.
Editors are so good on social media.
They're so good. They also work hard.
They
So
work
hard.
so hard and so quick.
Shout out to them.
We appreciate it so much.
We do.
Now, as I said, we still have more helmets to cover, people.
We do. We do.
So many.
I was literally constantly checking my phone, trying to see who put on a helmet and did I miss it, because I was just like, everybody kept dropping one and I was checking like a psycho. We have Esteban Ocon, who is back with another helmet. Our Spider-Man King at it again. This one was like split style. It was so cool. I love.
I'm obsessed with this helmet. Asti Bestie always slays a superhero themed helmet, which I expect nothing less from our superhero Marvel mega fan, Asti Bestie. I thought it was so cool the way that they did it, and I liked that it was like Spider-Man and Venom. That was so cool.
It was really cool. I will say, I think the helmet and the story behind the helmet that like hits me my feels the most is hands down Yuki Tsunoda's. It's got a kintsugi touch. It's the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery. You mend it with normally like gold, like powdered gold or silver or platinum, and
Medals.
It's beautiful. He used gold for his detailing on his helmet, and it's just like utterly beautiful. On top of that, he's auctioning off the helmet after the race for charity, and he like did an interview where he was explaining the story behind the helmet. It had me like bordering on tears, to be honest, because he was just talking about his journey in F1, and it's super cute. If you go on Google and like search his name, I'm sure you'll find the interview, maybe pop in Vegas in there, but it's just, I loved it. I have no notes for him at all.
It's stunning. And traditionally, I think it's gold that they use.
Yes.
And it is stunning. I also love watching the videos of them do that. It's so cool. I love that he included it. I love Yuki also slays the special helmet.
Yeah.
He does. It's always a slay. But I am obsessed with this one. I think it's incredible. So cool.
Yuki's always one of my faves. Amy was mentioning, I love the organization he's donating to. It's called Wings for Life, and they focus on spinal cord research. Honestly, one of the reasons I really love like the organization connected to the Kintsugi thing is like the whole point of that is supposed to be like a rebirth of art or something like that when they do it. So it's so nice to think that the organization is supposed to give like these people a new life with the spinal cord research and a new whatever. So it's so like, I really love when they actually donate these things and focus on research that most people don't think about.
It's very poetic.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just, I like thoughtful things. I like when people are like intentional about why they're auctioning off their race paraphernalia. Like, don't just auction it off just because. Like, do it for a cause. So
It makes the occupational therapist in me happy to see like the spinal cord research. So
yeah,
and I had no idea that was happening with his helmet. So it's really cool.
We do also have another driver who was celebrating their 150th race, and that is George Russell. And he did this really interesting, very Vegas vibed helmet. He had playing cards on the side that not only had like the GR with him in the T pose as the ace, it also had his number on the cards, and then on the big 6-3 that he puts on the side of his helmet, again, he brought out the T pose as like a step and repeat pattern. I literally died. I have not a single note for that helmet. Please, George, can we get more T pose stuff? Because I love when you bring it back. I know you hate it and it haunts you, but it's perfect.
I thought it was very Vegas. I thought it was very GR. I agree the T-pose is so... I love the way that he does it. I know it's like, he's bothered by it, but like he's also still including it in his merch. And I'm like, George, you're not bothered by it. Let's be realistic here. It's part of your brand at this point. I thought the T-pose shirt that he did, because on the helmet it's outlined, but on the shirt it's not. It's just him in the T-pose making an outline of the 63. So cool. The matte black with the gold, beautiful, incredible.
I agree. I love that he's eating this joke up. And I feel like when you have fans that your audience base is very meme, a lot of them just love these dumb little memes.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna eat it up as well. And again, 150th race, like I would want to have fun with my outfit and be
Truly.
kind of corny about basically his new legacy in F1.
He's a meme king.
He is the meme king. We did also get a helmet from his teammate Kimi. It's personally not my favorite, but that's totally okay. Like, it's his first Vegas Grand Prix. Like, I'm not surprised he was a little more, I guess, conservative with how he did his helmet design. Like, it's chrome, which is nice, but, like, it's really nothing wild. We also got a helmet design from Charles Leclerc. Again, I was kind of underwhelmed by it. It did nothing for me.
Yeah. It was kind of a yawn. Like, Charles, we know you can do better than that. Come on, my guy. I will say, as far as Kimi goes, to be fair, the guy can't legally go out in Vegas and have fun yet.
I guess that's true.
True.
He's a child.
Yeah.
He is a child.
For reference, when he popped up on the screen as they were doing the grid, my mom went, "Oh, they're just babies."
Oh my god, Mom, I love you.
So
that is hilarious.
They're babies.
It's just a baby.
They're literally like minors, more or less.
Well, he did just graduate high school, so.
Friggin' hell.
Okay.
Now, of course, we also have all of the liveries and race suits that we have to talk about, because we can't not. Stake gave us what potentially could be their final livery. I'm assuming they're going to give us one for the final race of the season, but this one kind of felt like a final goodbye in some ways. I'm so going to miss that obnoxious green on tracks next season, if I'm really honest. I loved the way that they used the checkered flag within their livery. It's iconic. The green, the fact that the wheels were also both green and black. I really liked this one. I kind of wish they had done it sooner, if that makes sense. Like, I wanted this way sooner, and I want it for longer.
I personally really loved their green. It really grew on me. It kind of reminded me of Shigo from Kim Possible, so I was a really big fan. And I don't know. I guess we'll see what they do next year. I'm not really expecting much with their new alliance, partnership, whatever it's called.
Ownership.
I'm not expecting much. Black and silver, I guess.
Yeah.
Potentially some red too, which is going to be confusing as heck because we've got so many cars with red on them.
Well, and they have to have so much paint.
We'll figure it out. We'll make a guide or something, people, I promise.
Oh, fun.
Ferrari did give us a race suit. Apparently, it does nothing for me. I was really let down.
It was pointless. Look, this was supposed to be exciting. I like Puma because my company works with them, and I was so excited because 20 years of celebrating with Puma that they make their outfits. This is the groundbreaking work of a 20th anniversary. 3 different reds. That's what like the main focus is supposed to be, that they're using 3 different reds from 3 different generations of Ferrari. Like, that's not exciting. I mean, it is, but like it didn't really like showcase in the outfit.
You put in your notes 3 different reds, groundbreaking, and all I can do is read that in Miranda Priestley's voice. 3 different reds for Ferrari, groundbreaking.
I mean, that's how I felt about it.
Like, that's how I read that in my brain.
I was disappointed.
Yeah, it was not it. But thank God we had at
Ferrari's
least
been a disappointment.
You are not wrong, and I won't argue with
Facts.
that.
I mean, hey, at least we had a few different teams who gave us liveries that we liked. And liveries and race suits that we liked. Because V-Carb gave us both a livery and a race suit. And I am downright obsessed, people. It is giving me Opal, holographic-y vibes. On top of that, they hit us with probably the best social media reel I've seen in a really long time. And it is Isaac Hajar pulling out the, instead of paint me like one of your French girls, paint me like one of your French drivers. I'm sorry. That reel took me out. I cackled. I can't. Their social team deserves a raise, a bonus, all of the above, maybe a bottle of champagne. Give them their flowers, please. I beg.
Oh, was that their idea or was that his idea?
That's the real question.
I
feel like it was
died.
definitely his.
I died at that. It was so funny. The livery is such a slay. I dare I say it's the best livery of the weekend. But I'm a sucker for holographic. But I loved it. That was so great. And their social team never misses.
We also got a livery and a race suit from Williams. I loved the roulette wheels for me. That was the detail that like stole my heart the minute I saw it. I also really liked they had this colored trim that they added to the edges, and for me at least, it kind of reminded me almost of those color changing LED like rope lights that people used to hang in their like college dorm rooms or in their bedrooms and stuff. With the black base that they did, it just makes all of the color choices that they did pop so much more, and I really, really liked it.
It reminded me of those things that you would get as a kid that had a matte black and you scraped it off and underneath it was rainbow.
Yes.
That's what it reminded me
Oh my
of.
god, that just unlocked a core memory.
Oh my god, those used to be so
Because
fun.
when I was in college, it wasn't color changing LEDs, it was Christmas lights. It was Christmas lights all over
a lot
your
of
dorm
fairy
room and
lights.
stuff. A lot of fairy lights.
Yeah.
Regardless, the livery, the race suit, killer. It was giving me night mode, and I was like, I'm here for it. I loved it. I loved it. Not as much as the V-Carb livery, not gonna lie, but it easily is a very, very close second.
I feel like Williams has been, like, I don't know, most consistent with their liveries this season, as in, like, I feel like they haven't had one that's missed, whereas other teams have. Like, they've had good ones, don't get me wrong, but they've had bad ones, whereas Williams, I don't think, has had a bad one. I could be wrong, but from what I remember off the top of my head, they really haven't missed this year, which is pretty impressive. I feel like that's another, like, win for them, I guess. I don't know. Because I feel like it's rare that a team actually, like, hits with all of their liveries throughout the season.
Look, maybe this is a hot opinion. I think William is on the up and up, like, in general.
I'm with you. I feel like next season could be big time game changer for them. Honestly. I'm so excited.
I'm excited for Williams as a team, but I still hate James Vowles, and I will die on that hill.
Love Williams disclaimer, not the team principal.
Not James Vowles excluded.
James Vowles excluded.
We also got a special livery from Alpine. We got Alpink 2.0. Still needs more pink. Still needs more pink. I will not be satisfied until we have the full pink BWT livery back. Give me, and
Please.
I like every time they do a full pink livery, they don't make a die cast. Give me a die cast.
I hate it. Please, give the girlies what we want, and it is the full Alpink. Please, please. We want the die cast. We want it on track. We want the full pink Alpine merch. Like, give us the pink. Lean into the girlies. Please, I beg. Again.
Honestly, they missed their chance. They should have done it when Abby was the F1 Academy World Champion. Because, you know, that's the only championship they're probably gonna get. Oops! Did I say that?
For the people in the back.
Unless Fabio decides to steal it again.
Whoa!
Allegedly.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Allegedly.
Anyway,
we speak only opinion.
Maybe next year.
Allegedly.
Yeah. I literally don't have any words. Okay, back to Pink.
New regulations.
Yes, thank
Yes.
you. Okay. Maybe next year they'll have a full pink car because the new
Interesting.
regulations. So I feel like if we're gonna get a full pink one, it'll be next year because like they have to, unless they go
Yeah.
blue, which would be boring. But
Please
There's
no.
no
we'll see.
blue cars.
Well,
Like
I
that-
have a feeling it's gonna get even worse next year with the fact that they have to have the majority of the car painted. Like, I
Which is
wonder what the
interesting.
teams like.
Yeah.
I feel like we could have a whole nother conversation about that. But like, all the teams are just like carbon fiber, so
Right.
Yeah.
everyone's gonna look different next year, which I'm kind of excited about. We're finally
I'm
gonna
hoping
get some
somebody
good
does
reveals.
something wild
Yeah.
with like
Yeah,
the
something
fact
fun.
that you have to have more color. Like, I want more of like their secondary colors and their color palettes, like on the car. Like, give me,
Yeah.
like, smack me in the face with some color, for the love of God.
Some contrast would be fun.
Would be nice. Now, obviously, we do need to jump on into our actual race weekend coverage because we could talk liveries and helmets and race suits till we're blue in the face because we have opinions, if you can't tell. Now, we're going to try to keep free practice as quick as we can because, frankly, there wasn't too much going on. Yes, it was raining, but we would really rather cover quali and the race because that's kind of more of the important stuff. Free practice 1, we had quite a few different drivers that were having issues with their rear tires, especially in turn 12. We had lots of people locking up, going deep into the corners. It was just kind of a bit of a hot mess.
Yeah. Free practice 2. The main thing that I noticed was the second that Lewis Hamilton popped to the top of the timesheet, I looked at my TV and I immediately went, don't do this. Don't do this to me. Don't get my hopes up like that. That was exactly what I said. Which I fear is every Ferrari fan's reaction when something like that happens at this point. Joylan Palmer, I'm pretty sure it was him who said the wind was moving. My guy, I'm pretty sure that's kind of what the wind does. Don't know what you meant by that. And then we had the return of the drain covers, which I believe, which red flagged practice. I don't think it ended. I think they still were able to go back out, if I remember correctly. I may or may not have watched it after I got home from happy hour. I am over the age of 21, people. A drain cover came loose after being driven over. Did not hit the floor of the car like what happened to Carlos in 2023. Thank God. A red flag session, and it was fixed, and then they went back out. Other than that, nothing else happened.
I cannot be the only F1 fan who got major trauma when I'm seeing notifications on my phone talking about drain cover issues and Las Vegas because we are all scarred from 2023, to be honest. Now, we do need to jump on into FP3. Again, we were seeing drivers dealing with lockups and tire issues and going deep into corners. Yes, I feel like I'm being a broken record. Sorry, not sorry. Now, we've got to jump into quali because, again, we have so much stuff to cover because there's just so much going on this weekend in Vegas. About an hour before quali, it's raining. I got that text notification. I was like, oh no, here we friggin' go. 15 minutes before quali, and it's still raining, and it's definitely going to be a wet session.
All I hope is that the fans were prepared. Thankfully, Hannah was, because that looked horrible. And I would not want to deal with that.
No thanks. Hard pass. In Q1, we actually got full wets on track. Yes, so far it was just at the start of Q1, it was just the Aston boys, the Stake boys, and Oscar. Everybody else pulled out inters, but there was definitely a lot of rain on the track surface. Like, you could see it. The spray was intense.
By the time I jumped into quali, because I was doing a couple things, so I got home, and I think it was like halfway through Q1, and I looked at the timing tower, and everybody was on full wets, and I was thrilled. I was so excited when I noticed that everyone was on full wets. And for those who don't know, the amount of times that full wets are actually used is so low that Pirelli used one of the full wet tires as a coffee table at Coda. So they just like turn it on its side and put a piece of glass on top of it. That's how often full wets are used.
That's art. Yeah.
I would love a coffee table like that.
Kill for one. That's so fun. Could you
It
imagine?
was fun.
It would be great.
Honestly, I think the craziest thing to me was the fact, like, the start of the session, we were seeing a lot of lockups from people. Lando, we had a deep spin issue from Isaac. Even Max went wide with 12 minutes and some change left in the session. It felt like everybody was having issues. Even the pundits were like, are we actually gonna, like, finish out quali? What's going on? It was a little alarming to hear them questioning that, honestly.
In Vegas.
No, it
of
was
all
very
places.
alarming. Yeah. And Lando hydroplaned. And tell me why McLaren tweeted, it's sloppy out there. I was cackling.
No shit,
Why
Sherlock.
would McLaren tweet that?
That's a verb choice.
It's sloppy out there.
That's such an interesting choice of words.
Maybe said slippery, but
Yeah, maybe it was
Maybe
an
that's what
autocorrect.
they meant in it. Yeah.
that has to be what happened.
They do have a lot of typos in their social stuff, I've noticed. So, honestly,
She's
not
doing her
surprised.
best.
I'm not surprised that if they meant to say slippery, or slippy even, like...
What
that
if I go back now and it says slippy?
That'd be funny as hell.
I will check right now.
But yeah, there was a lot of slip and sliding going on.
Yes, we even saw Charles get a lap deletion for track limits, and I sat there going like, yeah, no duh, he hit track limits. He probably can't see the track lines. It's like the visibility was so trash.
And I wonder if it's like out here in LA, because Vegas is a street circuit, out here in LA, the lines are not reflective at all.
Ooh.
So when it's dark and it's raining, you can't really see anything at all. Back in Texas, the lines are reflective and you can see. You cannot see up here. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I know they had a crap ton of lights, but when it's raining like that, if the surf's not reflective, you can't see anything. But also Charles, that man can't catch a break. Poor boy. He really can't catch a break.
You know, the rain makes things real interesting when we see Zesty Bestie, Esteban friggin' Ocon in P1 with like 5 minutes and like 45 seconds left in the session. What the heck? We also had an obscene amount of yellow flags that were just like popping up for like all of 2 seconds and then disappearing and then popping up again and then disappearing and then popping up again. It was stressing me out like nobody's business.
Isaac and Ollie were stressing me out. Does it say
I can't read
slippy?
that.
It's
It's slippy out there. See,
Aw.
I caught them with a.
You caught them
I
before
love
they
it.
corrected it. Damn.
All I know is it was still funny as sloppy, so they should have left it like that.
Oh my god.
But yeah, Isaac and Ollie were stressing me out. A lot of people were stressing me out. It was too early to be this stressed out, if we're being honest.
No, literally. Alex making contact with the wall though broke my heart. Good for him for making it back to the pits, but I felt so bad for him when he hit that wall. It was like, that was just heartbreaking.
I agree. Alex really broke my heart. He didn't have a good weekend though. But something else that I noticed kind of slipped, but I was confused. Lewis, I think from like almost the beginning that he started driving, had a bollard, which I'm not even sure what that is, stuck under his car apparently after he drove from like, I think it was like the first lap or something. So apparently that was explaining why his time was sucking and he was having issues with the car.
It's like one of those,
It's like a pillar.
it's like a cone. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a pillar cone.
So apparently he drove over one.
Well, Max drove
And they
over
think
one
it
in
got
Miami
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
year.
So they need to watch that.
The Brits have weird words for things.
Yes.
They do. That's a
Can-
odd one.
Can we talk about Lance Stroll this session? Like, where did he come from? Because I was on FaceTime with Soph, and we were just like, what the hell
Yeah.
is going on?
Kid can perform when it rains. Why? I don't friggin' know. It doesn't rain that much in Canada. but he somehow can pull out magic every single time it rains. This happens repeatedly. It rains, Lance Stroll does quite well.
Except for when he puts it in the barrier.
Listen.
The inconsistencies are going to always be inconsistent when it comes to Lance. Sorry, not sorry. I said what I said.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Out after Q1 was Alex, Kimi, Gabby, Yuki, and heartbreaking for the Ferrari fans, Lewis. And also heartbreaking for the LH fans.
In Q2, we did have a delayed start to Q2 because it was kind of seeming like the rain was going to stop. There wasn't a massive delay, but it was just a little bit of a slower start than normal. We did have Lance Stroll. Again, we're talking about Lance in the rain. He was a little gutsy and decided to be the first one in the session to pull the trigger to put on inters. It was kind of a wild call. It was kind of a questionable call, but he made the call anyways.
Bold choice. A bold choice for sure, considering the track was not drying that fast and it had kind of just stopped raining. But again, like you said, inconsistencies are just always going to be there, and it is what it is.
I mean, as I said, it is Lance, and it's still a wet race. He's going to think that he can pull off a miracle, and I have more questions than I have answers, people, but we had about 2 minutes left in the session, and he was just like, all right, I'm sending it.
I think Lance was accidentally feeling himself this quali. Like, he was like, I passed Q1, so like I'm already feeling myself. And that's why he guessed it too early, because I think he would have at least needed like 3 more laps to get inters. Like, he needed a few more laps.
I love this note that I put. I just put Carlos in all caps with like 4 question marks and then pop off King. I think this was when he hit the top of the timesheet. And I was like,
What?
okay. And yeah, that's the only note I have for him. Pop off King. Like, go for it. Considering Alex went into the wall and he got out in Q1, Williams fans need that win.
Like, random tidbit, but honestly, by the end of the weekend, they had vastly different experiences this weekend. But I was jumping off the walls, literally jumping in my chair right now. Jumping. Seeing Williams fight and actually succeed, which obviously very thankful was Carlos doing it as well, even though I love Alex so much, but I love Carlos a little more. Sorry, Alex. I was just like, this is amazing. Like, I was jumping, I was screaming, cackling a little bit.
I just want to know where the heck Pierre Gasly pulled his final lap from, because it just came out of absolutely nowhere that, like, I thought he was going to be out and he just somehow was like, nope, think again. I feel like Pierre Gasly is another driver, like, you can never really count him out in a qualifying sometimes, because sometimes he could pull out an absolute miracle. At the end of Q2, we lost Nico, Lance, Esteban, Ollie, and Franco.
Rolling into Q3, we had all inters for the session. The track was dry enough for everyone to kind of move on from the full wets. We will see them again in maybe 2 years when they're necessary.
Yeah.
Until then, there'll be coffee tables. Stack them and you can get a side table.
It's a very expensive table.
Very expensive.
Very.
Then Charles gave me a minor heart attack. Missing barely missing the barrier. Too early.
I think the weirdest thing to me in Q3 was the fact that George Russell and the Inters were like so not vibing at all, because what do you mean the man was in 7th at one point in the session after being back-to-back P1s in Q1 and Q2? Like, I don't understand what happened.
So apparently he had an issue with his power steering, so he had to, it was harder for him to turn, and add that on top of, like, the conditions, it was just, like, absolute hell for him. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened with him, is his power steering went adios.
That makes sense.
Thing you want to deal with when you've got to turn a car that weighs how much? No thanks. Hard pass.
Mm-mm.
As per usual for me, it seems, The final few laps of qualifying always stress me out, and I swear to God, one of these days they're going to be the end of me.
No, literally. I feel like I'm always on like the literal edge of my seat. Again, Carlos popping to the top of my timesheet, and so my note is just Carlos in all caps.
Again, with
Like-
the like 4 or 5
With like 4 or 5
marks.
question marks. I meant to put exclamation marks, but I was like on
You
my
know what?
phone.
Same. Question marks too.
But also question marks because
Yeah.
Williams?
Yes.
It's just, if you heard me screaming for Miami, yes, you did. Because where the hell has that been this whole time? Like, Williams, bring it.
You want
every
to
race.
say?
I know Vegas is like one of those weird races where like weird things just tend to happen. But I would love to replicate that everywhere else.
Williams actually has done pretty decently in Vegas.
They have. But I feel like Vegas is that weird lucky race for them.
That's true.
Besides Alex.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the Williams and Mercedes are both similar where they thrive in like colder, wetter
That's true.
weather. So I feel like, I forget who said it. If it was Alex Jakes or Julian Palmer that was like, this is a track that Williams comes to in circles on the calendar because they know they can do well. But the yellow flag at the end catching out so many drivers was just unfortunate. But also, can we talk about the fact that Lando had enough time in his lap to make a mistake in the final sector and still be clear of Max by 0.3 of a second? Like, that's impressive. Because I'm pretty sure he was up by like a good second on Max's time. So I that's impressive to do that in the wet at Vegas, which is already a slippery track. I don't know what he had in him.
By the end of Q3, your top 10 lines up as followed: Lando in P1, Max in P2, Carlos in P3, George P4, Oscar P5, Liam P6, Fernando P7, Isaac P8, Charles P9, and Pierre rounding us out in P10.
I have to say this again. I hate that they interview all 3 of them at the same time, making them all stay.
I agree.
Yes.
But also, how many poles is that now in a row for Lando?
Nice.
Yeah, so
3,
many.
3, because it's Mexico, Brazil, and this, and then he
Vegas.
also got sprint pole. So if you count that, that's
Shit.
4.
Technically 4, yeah.
Yeah.
3.5?
That's wild.
3.5.
3.5.
3.5.
I'll take 3.5.
3.5.
I'll take 3.5. Louis Tomlinson giving the pole position award made my directioner heart so happy. I was so excited to see that. That made me so happy.
Okay, guys.
We're yappers.
Buckle up, besties, because we might all start talking a mile a damn minute. We got some shit to talk about with race day because, oh my god. The start of the race day started off with the fact that Yuki Tsunoda was actually going to be starting in the pits because they made changes to his car after qualifying. Again.
Away.
Listen, if it helps Yuki, I'll take it. We had Lando cut across pretty fast right in front of Max, and then he ended up going wide into turn 1. That was really interesting.
That was a really fun way to start the race. I don't think it was the smartest way to start the race for Lando.
I mean, for a race that started at 11 o'clock for the East Coast, that was one way to wake me the hell up because
True.
go off, Max. I mean, okay.
Yeah, I was not expecting... I mean, I knew Lando was going to be aggressive. I just was not expecting that much aggression, especially since he cut over to the dirtier side of the track with less traction. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I am glad he went aggressive because if he didn't, you know, people would say something. So I'm glad he at least tried. And to be completely honest, he probably would have lost the position to Max anyways further down the road. So
The weirder thing in the first few laps of the race was like the random flag that came out and was just like, why? I
There
like
was
completely
just-
missed it.
There was too much going on in the back of the race and in the middle. Like the front at that point was already going.
We had the first, and this is an accomplishment for him, in my opinion, the first DNF race day, DNF of the season for Lance. Up until now, on a race day specifically, he has not DNF'd. He's finished every single race up until Vegas. So you know what? Good for Lance. And he DNF'd because Gabby hit him. Gabby also DNF'd.
Yes, Gabby completely misjudged the braking on it. It was a bit of a chaotic mess. We also had Liam Lawson having contact. I don't know what the heck was happening, people. I have more questions than answers half the time.
I think he ran over some debris from something else, but I honestly could be wrong because they didn't show us.
They didn't show us, but what I saw online was he ended up with a broken front wing. I can't even tell you from what, but that's what they changed in the pits. And there was debris on the street. There was debris on the track. Can't tell you what it was either.
We had Oscar and Liam both being under investigation. Again, I love the little exclamation marks and like keys that they've added to the timing sheet that's on screen because it's so helpful to know, but like I missed what it was for.
There was so much going on at the start of that race. Allegedly Liam hit Oscar. I don't know when, I don't know how. Also, I feel like there was so much happening that was started going under investigation that at the top, the little banners that tells you who's under investigation were delayed, like not consistent.
Yeah.
So from watching the replay of Liam's onboard, it actually looks like George locked up going into turn 1. So I think that caused Liam to like bonk into Oscar. So that's, I feel like, what happened. Although they didn't really say, but whoever was in front of Liam locked up, and I'm pretty sure that was George. So I think that's the catalyst of what caused everything.
Well, the front wing makes sense now.
Yeah. I feel like it might have actually been Kimi, because wasn't George, like, starting a high up, or was he lower than I thought?
No, Liam was starting in 6th. So
Liam was higher than I thought.
Liam was higher than you thought.
Yeah, Liam was high.
Good for him. Gabby and Lance's collision was under investigation, which in my opinion I feel like is rubbing salt in the wound because they both DNF'd. The investigation was done after the race because they DNF'd. They didn't need to do it during the race. Penalties wouldn't apply. Decision came in at 10:45 p.m. Pacific time. Gabby gets a 5-place grid penalty in the next race and 2 penalty points, which brings him to 2 out of 12. So you know what? Not doing too bad as far as penalty points go. It would have been a 10-second penalty, but he DNF'd, so it's a 5-place grid penalty. So he will take that in Qatar.
It's not the worst. I mean, honestly, for Kimi's sake, this track is like really rough to a lot of drivers. There's only a few that love driving it, maybe Carlos, for example. But other than that, I see why so many have issues with the track.
Yeah. And then the Lawson Piastri incident, turn 1, no further action for that investigation.
Like Rachel said, it seemed like some of the notifications we were getting for things being under investigation in the TV coverage were delayed because I got a notification on my phone from Chris Medland that was saying that Kimi Antonelli was going to get noted for a false start. And it took like a good 10 minutes for it to actually show up on screen. It was just so...
No, I feel that FA definitely has an issue with giving those things out a little late sometimes, but it was just a rookie mistake. And I love that they mentioned that because it happens to at least almost all of them, at least once in their racing career.
More than...
Yeah, I think it ultimately they said was he just didn't have his foot on the brake, and since it's like flat, he just kind of kept rolling, and that was enough to get him the penalty, which is unfortunate because you can barely see anything in the onboard, but they have all the sensors and cameras, so if you false start, they're going to pick up on it.
Makes sense.
Very, very true. Poor Kimi, feel bad for him. And then Albon, we got a notification. Albon is under investigation for starting procedure infringement. Not a false start, but a starting procedure infringement. I also, you know what they did have time for and that they did keep putting up regularly? The graphic that said Max can still win the championship with the point calculations. I don't feel like that was necessary to show every 5 minutes, but okay.
I mean, Verstappen girlies can dream, right?
Honestly, the thing is, we've talked about before, you can never take Max out of the equation. Ever. Also, the marketing person just really liked him, I guess.
No, 100%, 100%. The only reason it's a top 3 for contention for the World Drivers' Championship right now is because that third person is Max Verstappen. If that third person was any other driver, no shot. No shot.
We did have a really good overtake from Charles on Oscar. I was not expecting it because typically the Ferrari just like can't pull it together all the time. I have no complaints, but also like what on earth is happening?
I also had no complaints because I think the Ferrari girls need to catch a break. At least once a race.
It's once a race for like 5 minutes and then they go back to their
original programming.
Yeah, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Kimi Antonelli got a 5-second penalty for his false start, and then we got another notification that Lewis was under investigation for a collision at turn 14. Again, back to our regularly scheduled programming for the Ferrari girlies.
We also saw Alex Albon get a 5-second penalty for causing a collision.
He also got a reprimand for his starting procedure issue, and this is his 3rd reprimand of the season.
Yikes.
He also, with that 5-second penalty, he got a penalty point, bringing him to 5 out of 12.
So basically, Vegas is not Alex's race, and also the FIA thinks they're detectives with how much investigating they have to do.
Yes.
But the good thing is Carlos was in P3, so Williams at least had that going for them.
A moment where I was just literally shaking my head at my television going, what in the hell are you doing? Because McLaren, I am confused by your thought process here. You guys really need to pick a driver to back because it's getting annoying. Like, what the hell?
So I was under the impression that whatever driver was ahead got pit priority. I feel like that's how it works with most teams. Apparently not. So we'll see. But although it did work out for Oscar, I guess, strategy-wise, so I don't know.
They're going to the Ferrari School of Strategy.
They are. I think they're gonna take the crown this season for clowns. Like,
I don't know.
with strategy.
I don't know about that.
Well,
Ferrari
all
has made
that.
some questionable choices.
then they're definitely a runner-up. They're definitely
give
in
you
second
that.
place.
Close second.
They
Close
are-
second.
They
And
are
if Ferrari's
close.
teaching the school, and McLaren's just taking
There
some
you go.
classes.
That's true.
With how the weekend went, though, I mean, they're... we'll get into it, but...
Look, the only positive thing right now is at this point in the race, Lando has some good tires going. So it's no surprise that he is knocking on someone's door. And he was doing really well with the team at this point, I think, because they were communicating really well on the radios, from what I heard.
Speaking of radios, though, y'all should not be surprised at all that I am bringing up GP radio message because his radio message to Max saying that, quote, Lando was told to, quote, come and get you. Guys, I was cackling and wheezing and rolling on the goddamn floor. I was unwell. That radio message made my night so much better. I can't even lie.
No, because why did that sound so shady of GP? I was like, oh my... He was so sassy about it. I love GP. He's one of my favorite engineers. He's hilarious. But I was just like, GP!
I think the best part, too, is Lando fully knew he wasn't gonna catch Max.
Yeah.
Like, he knew it. He said it. But the team still was like, nah, go get him. And I just know Lando under his helmet was like, you dumb fucks. I'm not gonna catch
The
him.
eye roll. I
Look,
can envision it.
It was just a proper warning. Lando knew he wasn't going to get it, but he was trying. He was only 5 seconds behind. He's like, let me try. It's not going to go anywhere, but let me try. I would try.
Really said, okay, bet. And then immediately jumped up a second in the timing tower. To again rub salt in the wound, Alex DNF'd after getting a reprimand and penalty and a penalty point. So, great day for Williams on Alex's side.
No, horrible day. The only good thing they had going was he already served the penalty he got, so he's good for Qatar. Not going to have to deal with anything.
We had 10 laps to go, and it kind of was starting to feel like the top 3 was pretty much set with the way that Kimi Antonelli was somehow keeping both Oscar Piastri and Charles Leclerc behind him, while Max was also at the same time pulling out fastest lap after fastest lap. Like, I'm talking the man had a 6-second lead on top of it all. Like, it was wild. And again, I need to rave about Kimi Antonelli, because what do you mean the kid was doing all of this on 44 lap old tires? Sir, did grid dad Max Verstappen teach you the tire whispering ways? Where did this come from? I have so many questions on where you learned this, sir. But like, George Russell, GR, if you're listening to this, you owe Kimi Antonelli a really, really nice steak dinner at minimum for the absolute iconic assist that he gave you. I'm sorry.
He owes him a few.
You owe him big time. I'm talking dinners. I'm talking a trip. Like, get that man his flowers, because you owe him so much.
Kimi was driving so well this race, like to the point where I almost questioned if he was going to overtake George, because there was a certain point where he was like almost getting a second more or something before George when he was hitting his fastest laps. And this kid was defending so well, was literally fighting for fourth the whole time, was doing amazing tire care, amazing pace. All I'm saying is it's between him and Isaac for Rookie of the Year. Like, both of them have
100%.
raced their hearts out. And
Hands down.
it's so amazing.
Mhm.
But also, at this point in the race, back to those radio messages, why are they telling Lando just do more? I would be crying. Like, stop telling me what to do. I'm already doing my most.
Disconnect the radio.
He should have.
He
That was
should have.
ridiculous.
He should have been sassy. He should have done
Like-
the sassy Scorpio stuff. Like,
That
what
was
else
We're
is
in
obnoxious.
supposed
Scorpio.
to do?
No, we're not in Scorpio. Well, we're not in Scorpio season anymore, unfortunately.
No.
No, we passed it.
But also, like, literally, what does just do more even mean? Like, how does that help you?
I don't know.
I have no words. I had to literally do a triple take at my screen, because lap 47, and I'm literally seeing the gap between Max and Lando, and I'm seeing 8.234 seconds. I quite literally thought I was hallucinating.
And increase.
That's because, yes,
Yes.
he was not slowing down, and that's because Mad Max has never actually left us. He was just like taking a hiatus.
I mean,
Nation.
Yeah.
Seriously, his final lap hits and Max is just chilling, because what do you mean I looked at the timing sheet and I see 17.971 gap between him and Lando, who Lando was in second and was being told to lift and coast. I really want to figure out what the heck was wrong with Lando's car, because like, why were you telling him at the last final lap to lift and coast? We'll get to that. But, like, again, I have to go back to Kimi Antonelli, because Kimi still finished ahead of Charles in 5th by 1/10 of a second. Okay, kid, I see you.
Literally. I think his tires were like 48 lap hards by the time the
Uh-huh.
race finished. Like, that kid killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Regarding George, as to also, because people were confused, I saw people being confused as to why he didn't pass Lando. He was having steering issues again. So, poor George. But also, George Russell does nothing, gets a podium.
Let me tell you, I was cackling when I saw Rachel wrote that. But I would love that for Kimi next. Let's switch.
Yes.
Yes. I feel like Max Verstappen maxed out every single ounce of potential in every lap of that race. Yes, there is a pun in there. Yes, I friggin' meant it. Iconic. Absolutely iconic work.
Now I have to say this from one of our favorite commentators, David Coulthard. Apparently he said, quote, Lando Norris tried to play Max Verstappen at his own game. The problem is he doesn't know the rules of that game, end quote. And honestly, damn, that was cold.
That was
But
a burn.
also, I don't know if anybody knows the rules of the game Max is playing. I don't know if Max knows the rules.
Mm-mm.
Heavy on that.
He makes it up as he goes.
The thing I find so interesting with the Las Vegas Grand Prix that I don't know if anybody else noticed, it took me a second of like going back and digging to confirm, but they haven't changed their trophies year to year. They have used the same trophies since they started this race, which I think is really interesting because most circuits will do a new trophy each year.
Yeah, I saw you write that, so I went to like deep dive into it. And they actually just asked the creative director recently why he's not doing anything new. And he replied that he just doesn't feel like it's time yet to change up the trophy. He thinks right now the trophy really represents Vegas, so he wants to give it more time before
I
they do
agree.
any designing.
No, I agree. I think it is, I mean, it is very Vegas. I also think it probably just makes it less stressful too.
Yeah.
Like
I
knowing
agree.
that like, hey, this is our design. You don't have to worry about like adding that to your planning process. I get it. I find it really interesting.
To think
Hmm.
it's one of those things where like a lot of tracks or a lot of circuits will get a lot of hate for certain trophies when they look
Yeah.
like, and everybody likes this trophy. No one really has any complaints about it, and they're like, you know what? We don't need that smoke, so we're not going to change it.
I get it.
I get it, but
Yeah.
the weirdest thing to me was like post race ish, end of the race, Lando was having fuel issues. I think that's what I had heard, and I kind of like disassociated for a hot sec.
Don't even get me started. I mean, Rach is gonna go into actually what happened, but yeah, I thought before obviously everything came out after the race that they just didn't put enough fuel in the car. Because I have a feeling they weren't expecting Lando to be pushing as much, and Will Joseph had Lando pushing the overtake button for like 10 straight laps. So I thought that was what was the problem. But, no, was not the problem. So go ahead, Rach.
You said you don't want to start. I'll start. At the end of the race, our podium was Max in P1, Lando in P2, and George Russell in P3. Now, post-podium, post-race, whatever, the FIA technical delegate went to the McLaren garage to inspect Lando's car, ended up inspecting both cars, and they inspected the skid blocks and found the rearmost skid on both McLaren cars to be under the minimum thickness of 9 millimeters. And according to the race scrutineering document, as they do every race, they checked all 10-point finishing cars. And then at 1:45 a.m. Pacific time, the official document came out stating that both Oscar and Lando have been disqualified from the Las Vegas Grand Prix for skid wear on their blocks. This puts our official podium at Max in P1, George in P2, Kimi Antonelli in P3. Yay, another Kimi podium. We love that for him. Too bad he's not 21 and can't celebrate in Vegas. This puts in the drivers' championship, this puts Oscar and Max tied for P2 with 366 points each, and Lando Norris is only 24 points ahead of them in P1 with 390 points. We have 2 races and a sprint left in the season, y'all. And yes, I was up until 2 o'clock in the morning waiting for those documents to come out.
Can I just say something real quick? Why would you do this? Why would you take this risk when you have 2 drivers in the championship battle who are P1 and P2 when they had this problem? I forget which race it was. I think it was Coda, where they didn't take risk with the skid block thingy on the floor. Okay, reasonable. You have drivers in the championship fight. Why do they do it in Vegas? Why? Like, you're putting both of them at risk. Do you not want a 1-2 in the Drivers' Championship? Do you want Max Verstappen to win the Drivers' Championship? Like, are you dumb? Are you dumb? I'm sorry, but it's just literally the stupidest thing they could have done. And the fact that Lando told them about this during free practice, he said there's too much porpoising and that there's too much sparks, and they didn't listen. Like, I'm sorry, but like...
Also say that even my mother, who does not watch this is probably one of the only Formula One races she has ever watched in her life, noticed that there were more sparks coming off of the two McLaren cars than all of the other cars. And she does not watch Formula One.
And Oscars
or
actually
racing.
came in to have more wear, but I think that's because of the thing at the end of the race with Lando. They were trying to
yeah.
avoid it. But yeah, literally just how stupid. Like,
I mean, Meg, this is the same.
And thank you to coming to Meg's crash out.
Where Zach Brown literally said that he would rather somebody else win than back their drivers.
I know, and we talked about this for Brazil.
I swear to God, it's like he cursed the team, and I love it. It's karma's a bitch. Pardon my French.
He spoke it into existence, and this is what's going to happen.
He should have never said it. Ever. And now they're in an uncomfortable position where, thankfully, Lando has a buffer, and he can win it in Qatar if he finishes 2 points ahead of both Oscar and Max. So, thankfully, he's fine. But look at Oscar! He's gonna lose second now.
Bahrain curse is alive and well, y'all.
Dead.
I hate it.
Anyway.
Your driver of the day that was voted by the fans was Max Verstappen, but I, like Julian Palmer and Alex Shakes, really do think it probably should have gone to Kimi Antonelli. I mean, the way that man defended was simply iconic.
Well, and he officially went P17 to like P3 now.
P3.
P5 with the penalty. I mean, Kimi deserved it for sure, I think.
Yeah.
I agree. But to round us off, we had the fastest lap with Max, which comes as a surprise to no one listening.
As always, y'all, is it really a PGP race recap without us doing predictions for the next race? I do, however, before we get into our predictions, want to run through the predictions that we made last episode. Now, it turns out that Meg and I both got Lando and Max on the podium, correct? But we got them in the wrong places, that's for sure. Chelsea also had Lando on her podium, but in the wrong spot. It seems like we can kind of get the usual suspects, but our orders are wrong, obviously. Looking back at this, given all of the disqualifications and everything else, we really only got Max right for me and Meg, but I will say that we technically got Max and Lando right because he did officially finish on the podium when I wrote my notes for this episode prior. Now, we are headed to Qatar, and I, as always, pulled out my pendulum to see what the heck I was going to get for a podium. Take this with a grain of salt, people. P1, Max Verstappen. P2, Oscar Piastri. And P3 is Charles Leclerc.
Listen, we've got maximum 25 laps for tires. It's basically a mandatory 2-stop for everybody. The drivers I would love to see on the podium are Charles, Lewis, and Ollie. However, the ones I think that will actually be on the podium are Max, Lando, and George or Kimi. Don't ask me about the sprint. Could not tell you what that will look like. I don't know if I want to know. I am just really hoping that the drivers don't get heat stroke again.
Yes, I hope nobody, basically almost dies, because that is not good for anybody, and it is not healthy. So let's hope they can get through the weekend. I'm a little more optimistic for Qatar, for the McLaren boys. However, the new tire thing is going to play a huge part in the weekend, I have a feeling. I think given the disqualification, Lando's going to be really pissed going into Qatar and pushing really hard to win everything, especially with his mindset lately and just wanting to totally dominate. So I'm going P1 Lando, P2 Max, and P3 Oscar.
And we are almost done with the season. We're almost there. So I'm sure we're going to see, and excuse the pun, but we're going to see a lot of drive from our drivers before we're done. So thank you for clapping, Meg. Since I never get the prediction right, I'm really going to try here. So I did some statistics. This is what I think is going to happen, okay? P1, Lando Norris. I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to be also, like we all said, upset from disqualifications, and he'll figure that out. Max, I don't see him not trying to win the championship. I don't see him taking himself out of the equation, so I could see him getting P2. And I would love for Ferrari to make a comeback after this weekend. And this is where I'm not being very believable, but I think Charles will get P3. And I think we're just gonna have to hope for the best beyond that. I do hope that they use those cooling things again, though. I don't know if they worked really well, but at least it was something.
Now, we cannot close out this episode or this weekend without arguably one of the best moments of the weekend. Dorian Pin is the F1 Academy Championship for 2025. An absolute killer season for her. She is such an icon. And Kimi and George went to the podium to celebrate with her, which I thought was the sweetest thing. But we love our F1 Academy girls. Congrats to Dorian. I can't wait to see what she does next.
All right, besties. What a wild ride under the Vegas lights. We laughed. We maybe cried a little. We definitely gasped collectively at that late night double McLaren disqualification. Honestly, this race had more plot twists than half of the books we read for book club on the off weekends. Because what the heck? Thank you so much for hanging out with us for another Paddock Girls Race recap. Make sure you're following the podcast. Leave us a 5-star review. Tell your fellow F1 girlies to join the Paddock family. We always want more girlies and even guys in the group, so please share us around with your friends. Now, buckle up, y'all, because next stop is Qatar, our penultimate race for the season. The desert drama never misses, so you know we're going to be right there beside you to talk you through every lap, every surprise, every ounce of chaos that gets thrown our way. Until then, stay hydrated, stay a little delulu, and we will see you on the next lap. Bye, besties.
Bye.
Goodbye.